Hello everyone, I'm Evan, and welcome to Space Engineers. I'm once again doing another ship of the KMC fleet, and this time it is the IPDS, or Inert Projectile Delivery System. The way I'd really spin this is, do you want a huge cannon that does nothing but be a huge cannon? That can hit things at exceedingly massive ranges as long as they're standing relatively still? Then this is the ship for you. It's got an enormous gravity cannon that stretches the entire length of the ship. And the gravity generators go from here. In fact, these little bumps are shrouding them. They start here, and they go all the way back to here. This is the same cannon. I actually lifted off of this particular ship and put it into the Dragoness, as you can see here. It's the same cannon. The muzzle brake's a little bit different, and the coloring's off, but it's where I made this first, and then I slapped it on as a nice adjustment. This is all vanilla, by the way, except for one block, which is this long Gatling gun, just because it's kind of a nice Gatling gun. You could replace this with like any other kind of modded weaponry, but I just like it because it does damage, it deals the hurt, you know. Even though you can't see the projectiles. There they are. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so that's the only modded weapon. You could replace that with a rocket or whatever if you wanted. So, yeah. And then there's also a speed mod, which just aids in the destructive power. Because really there's no point to build a ship, a gravity cannon this big, unless you have a speed mod working for you, so... yeah, we're just going to take a couple shots at the Dragoness here, because we all know very well it's got lots of armor. Hopefully, if you haven't seen my video on my flagship, you should probably do that, just so that you have some context for what I'm shooting at. And did you see that little speck streak out of the barrel? Yeah, that was the projectile. Let's do it again. Like, look at this insane velocity. 3, 2, 1, launch. Don't blink. You'll miss it. I think I put a seat on it to try and see the velocity of this thing, and I think it was getting almost up to 800 meters a second. Yeah, it's so fast that the game has trouble comprehending its existence, so it tends to warp through armor. So for instance, I think I hit right here, and there's not a lot going on inside, but if we look for modules, we can probably find a couple that have been eviscerated. I've already done a little bit of weapons fire against this ship today, so I might not find anything. You know what? It's probably better that we use a different ship for the target, just so that you get a better idea of what it'll do. Because the Dragoness is kind of an odd standout example. Let's just use this. This is a little, not really little, but it's sort of a Halo-esque ship that I made. Where is my IPDS? There it is. So let's just punch a couple holes in this, because this is going to show it a lot better, I think. Get this on the same grid alignment, and then stick it over there. Cool. And let's get back to the cannon. Okay, so this thing is just got way too much energy. And it's actually fairly maneuverable, although it really could use some work on a lot of things. For instance, the turret on the bottom has a tendency of breaking if you move it too fast. Little things to work out. Okay, and there you can see a hole that I assume, from past experience, went clear through the ship. Only one way to find out, and that is to, of course, do some little Curious George investigation. Yeah, So if I buy internal modules, it looks like it was going so quickly at the end that it just warped right out of this armor here. But as you can see, this is actually, a lot of the stuff in here is pretty tightly packed, so you can kind of tell when things are gone. There used to be some gyroscopes there, more ion thrusters here, gyroscopes there. Almost hit a jump drive, which would have been cool if I'd been aiming a little bit higher, although I had not memorized the internal layout of the ship in a while. So if I were to hit center-ish more, I would probably knock out at least 2 jump drives if I was hitting it from the side. A really big blow would be to hit the central cargo container there, because it kind of would mess with the supply chain. And of course, I could probably send a couple rounds into the front of the ship to just absolutely eviscerate it, but I'm pretty sure you guys get the point. This cannon is extremely powerful and can work at excessively large ranges. Far beyond that of a conventional weapon in this game. So for instance, let's just delete that and then copy it again, except for we're going to put it way, way over there. Yeah, you can barely see it over there, just a couple pixels, you know. Well, it's more than a couple pixels, but you get the idea. It's pretty far away. This is obviously well outside of traditional weapon range. And now we're going to plant a shot on it. And it gets there pretty quick, too. I think it just destroyed the hangars. Or either that or phased through the hangar door. That's one of the problems. I'm still getting the balance right for velocity to destruction, because if you get too much velocity, well, you don't have any anti-armor capabilities, just because that it... Oh, that's right, I forgot. I have the jump drive explosion mod, so that obviously hit a jump drive. But, you know, at least you can see that it did hit the thing this time. Because a lot of the time it'll go through the armor, destroy internal modules, come out the other side, and you really can't see a difference from the outside. This one should, yeah, there you go. And you see those chunks that just flew way off in the distance. Yeah, those are chunks of this thing, because it's just going that fast. This is serious weaponry. Serious stuff. But anyway, that'll be all for this video, and see you on the next fleet video. Bye-bye.